Hey everyone, this is my first YouTube channel and first video to go on it. My name's Joel Crouch and this channel's going to be about living with a disability. A lot of people don't understand that disabilities are restricted / hard to deal with, I'll tell you that. And all the time you go through lumps, hurdles and everything. So I'm going to give you a front row seat into my disabilities and how I deal with them day in, day out, what I do to deal with them, and you're going to meet fun people on the way. So hang in tight. All the time I deal with a disability, all the hurdles, everything. Even family. Oh God, tell me about it. Family is all a different hurdle, but you all got to deal with it. And if you do have a disability and you are listening to this, please leave a comment down below, as I would love to hear your stories, how you deal with your disability, and even so, I might even meet you. But to start off this, it's going to be a rough tunnel, but we'll get through it. And as well, if you don't have a disability and you got any questions, please leave a comment down below and subscribe, because it's going to be a whole roller coaster. A lot of people judge people with a disability. Some people judge people with a disability in a good way or in a bad. And disabilities aren't meaning disabled. Some disabilities are physical, some disabilities are mental. But all disabilities just give you another opportunity of life. And as well, the roller coaster of a disability is harder than people without one. The main disability that you may have is anxiety and depression. Yes, it's a mental illness, but it is classified as a disability. As well, the ones I have are anxiety and depression, the typical two, and I have Asperger's, ADHD, ODD, and ASD2. All those ones are my main disabilities. I have to deal with them day in, day out, live with them, sleep with them, and communicate with them. And no, communicating with them doesn't mean I talk to them. It just means I have to communicate with other people even though I have a disability. Where some disabilities are physical, which I don't have any of those. But a lot of disabilities are, let's say, mental. And I've got a couple of those. Anxiety and depression, for one. Anxiety can affect you in many ways. It can stop you from doing things because you're either too scared, too worried, or you just don't want to confront it. It's a hard thing to recognize. It's very hard to deal with. And a lot of people deal with it in different ways. The way I deal with it is sometimes listening to music and listening to a lot of things that not many people try to listen to, as well as depression. Depression is another one. Some people deal with it in different ways as well. They lock themselves away from humanity and all that. But I deal with it in expressing myself in a lot of ways. As in art. I do a lot of art. I do tattoo art. I do a lot of different things. But to do those things, I have to basically control my emotions. Where one of my major disabilities come into effect, or major two, ASD2 and Asperger's. Asperger's is a very hard one to diagnose. Some people can't get diagnosed with it in these days because it's not classified as a proper disability now. So it gets categorized under ASD 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And all those letters, numbers, words, terms, everything, they're just words. They're just labels to a name. Doesn't mean if you, let's say you're in school and you're going through schooling life and just, let's say, in a rough patch, and you have those things, like I did in school, and you say, oh, I've got ASD2, ASD this, ASD that, Asperger's, blah, 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 I can't do this, I'm going to say bullshit. That's just a mental strain that you've got yourself locked into, like I did. And then the people that sort of judge you down and all that will take onto that board and sort of judge everyone else. If you're one of those people that judge disabilities as a impurity or a thing that people can't get over, and they sort of lean on it, or they can't do anything, or they're not like us, we can't play with them, or whatever, they can play with you. It's not contagious, it's not anything. They just think in a way that you don't. Like, some disabilities may pull you down in some parts. Let's say English, your writing, your spelling, words, everything. That's where it pulled down me. But then you excel in something else like maths or science or fitness. That's where I excelled. Disability is not a gateway to being disabled. Disability is a gateway to an opportunity. As well as being an opportunity, it can pull you down in ways that opportunities won't occur. Some people have to fight for them. Some people have to adapt to them. And some opportunities won't go away. For me, my opportunity that I had that still won't go away is my family. And if you stick around and subscribe, you will meet them eventually. But being disabled doesn't mean you can't do shit. You're gonna be ridiculed by people. There's going to be people out there that's just not normal. If you're a person without disability, you will have people around you that will. And there's going to be people around you that you don't even know have a disability. There's a lot of people that are famous with disabilities that don't show it. For instance, Albert Einstein, my role model, my person that I looked up to as a kid, the person I focused my head on as a kid. He had a disability that I have called Asperger's and ADHD. But he never let it ridicule him. People called him crazy. He wasn't crazy. He looked at things in a different way to other people. Like me. I have a different aspect to many things. Life, how things work, processes, and getting around things. Same as him. He even became famous because of science. He stuck to his guns and made the string theory. He made the string theory happen. And we wouldn't be in the future we have if he didn't. If you imagine, without Albert Einstein, we wouldn't have a lot of technology we have to this day. Without his theories and weird things he did, we wouldn't be here into the 20th century, and we wouldn't know the 20th century as we know it. Same as a lot of famous people that you see on televisions, movies, everything. Some of them have disabilities. And you may not know it. For instance, someone you know from The Big Bang Theory. He has a disability. Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. He has a disability. He's crazy, but no one notices it because he hides it, but he uses it to his advantage. The guy in Pet Detective, he has a disability, but he uses it to his advantage. A lot of people have one. Some people have one that isn't diagnosed. And they don't know it, but they use it to their advantage. If you see someone walking around with a carer and they've got a disability, or you see someone struggling in the shops and they have a disability and they know they have a disability, help them out. You never know. You might have a new understanding. There are a lot of YouTube people that have a disability. There are a lot of people on Twitch that have a disability. And as I said, the way they cope with things and cope with having a disability is putting out videos like I'm going to do from now on, and playing games or being a movie star. There is no boundaries to having a disability. The only boundary you have is how you put it in play. Disabilities is a thing that of the past was ridiculed because no one could know or solve. There was no cure. And yes, there's no cure because it's genetic. You can't get rid of disabilities. You can just use it to your advantage. My disability leaps me in bounds that I have never known. As a kid, I used to hide it away. I wished I never had it. My mum, always by my side, always telling me, you've got this for a reason. You've got this because someone out there knew that you could deal with it. I always had that in my head, back of my mind. But words can be words. Actions is what stands out. My actions is always the action of a reaction. As a kid, I act upon everything. My senses were enhanced because of my disability. My mind just ticked like a ticking time bomb. I absorbed information that was visible to me. And as well, reading a book, it always tells you things that are found out by other people. But some things are found out by other people because they tried it on other things. But I've realised even having a disability, my DNA is fixed to different things. I've had medication after medication after medication to help me deal with my disability. I regret sometimes with my medication, but it has helped me to a point where I'm now living on my own with support. But my family has now benefited. I've helped a lot of people personally, mentally, but now it's time for me to help people understand us. It's an opportunity I have now, but it's an opportunity I can waste. If it's time for people to get out there and take that opportunity that is given to them on the spot, they take it. It is really good. It is an opportunity of a lifetime. But if they don't take it, sometimes it won't come back. Sometimes opportunities come in a thought. Sometimes opportunities come in a friend or family member. Sometimes opportunities come and go in just life. And it gets to a point where you have opportunity after opportunity. And then that opportunity just backfires in your face. If you're out there with a disability, use it. Use your disability to an advantage. As I'm going to, and I have at times. My disability doesn't break my ableness. My disability enhances my ableness. I am able to do things which not many people can. I can retain information. I can retain a lot of things. I can retain a lot of muscle memory and energy that I never knew I could withhold. With this, I hope other people can understand. I hope people will understand that if you're a person that's a bully in schools, don't bully the people that can change the future. For instance, Albert Einstein was bullied. He absolutely changed our world. And no one gave him an opportunity. He fought those bullies. And if you're one of those disability people that are just bullied after bully and no friends, no nothing, you can always listen to this and watch it. My channel is out there and going to be out there for as long as I stand. And I will try and change things. Give people an enlightenment into our eyes, our way of thinking, our way of life. If people want to know more about disabilities, look online, look everywhere. There is a lot of books done by disability people and kids' books. If you're a student or if you're a kid that don't understand, or if you're a person who's just been diagnosed with a disability, don't fall, climb. It is a thing that people try to work with, but not many people can. Sometimes you have to fight it. But don't let it down. Embrace it. Some people won't let you stand in their way. You have to let you stand in their way. Prove them that you are capable. And they might prove to you that they're not. I'm going to be posting these daily. You're going to be inside of my life. First seat online. And if you want, it's going to get to a point where you're just going to instruct yourself. I'm going to do things that I cope with. I'm going to do things and show things that I use to cope. And my hobbies. And everything. Where I live. All that sort of stuff. You're going to get a front row seat in my life. And I'm going to tell you my life. As it is. If you want to come for that ride, sure. Tag along, subscribe. And as this channel progresses and gets bigger and bigger, a lot of my stuff that I get may go out to use. It's going to get to a point where the world's going to accept people as people. We are all the same, no matter what color, what we do, or how we understand things. It may even get to the point where people will get along. COVID is a thing that's happening these days. All around us. Everything. And COVID-19 is not going to stop us. The only thing that will stop us is the end of the world. So if you subscribe and help me out, help me give people an insight of a disability and people with it, we may change the world. Not me, Just give it a chance, and your life may change. Stick around for more. And you may have another insight of disability. What some people may not have. I hope people are watching. I hope people will subscribe and share this. If people can change, like I have, if people can do things that no person has ever done, unlock that inner brain, we may have a new chance at developing a new world of people who understand disabilities, of people who understand that there are people out there that are struggling. And I'm not just meaning the people that are overseas and just can't live because they're poor. I mean people that are struggling mentally and physically. People in schools. People who are don't have a second chance. If you're one of those people that don't have a second chance, I'd love to meet you, because I'm on your side. I never had a second chance, but I'm making a second chance. If I can make a second chance, so can you. So, subscribe, put down a comment. I may bring up your comment. I will look at your comments. And I may get an opportunity to meet you. Thank you, and give people a second chance.